Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Carmen Bryant and this is Redefining Yourself. So I am your host. This program was developed for women that are thinking of leaving, needing more information, or have left and are recovering from domestic violence. The specific type of domestic violence that I talk about is narcissist abuse. So I am a narcissist abuse recovery specialist. I am also a licensed mental health counselor and I am also a trauma specialist. So I put all those together and then I bring you information based on questions that you ask, situations that you've been in, and I like to inform the public, make you aware, give you more education, because there's really been a rise of narcissism, and a lot of people are now discovering that they were in a relationship with a narcissist, and some people are leaving relationships and they are totally psychologically and some physiologically damaged from the abuse that they have been through. And though the channel was created with women in mind, the kings have come in and they have joined the ladies, the queens, and they have also, there are men that are on the channel, the kings that are on the channel, that have revealed or disclosed their experience with female narcissists. And so this is really educational because I can give you information from a female point of view. I can even tell you about female narcissists, but to actually have experience in a relationship, an intimate relationship with a female as a narcissist, that is valuable information, and I thank each and every one of you, and especially the men, the kings that have come on and share their stories, that interact with the women and also encourage us as queens. I really appreciate you guys, and I'm so honored that you are here on the channel and that you guys are asking questions. First of all, I commend you for leaving, and I thank you so much for giving the information to us so we can see what it looks like on your end. And as you see, many of you that read the comments, male and females alike, narcissism is narcissism, and it all has the same traits, same behavior, same motives, if you notice. So it doesn't matter, heterosexual, homosexual relationship, black, white, yellow, green, purple stars, whatever nationality, ethnicity you are, narcissism all looks the same. Just like any other mental health disorder, you see children that are autistic, you see, or people that are autistic. I think that was a question that came through right as I was getting ready to record. Do I think that narcissists are autistic? Well, in the mental health field, narcissistic personality disorder is a cluster B personality disorder. It is a personality disorder. So a narcissist can have a whole lot of other disorders. They can be bipolar as well, or they have bipolar as well. They can be autistic, they can be schizophrenic, major depressed, post-traumatic stress. A lot of them do have post-traumatic stress. A lot of them can also be intellectually or cognitively delayed, which used to be called mental retardation, mild, medium, I think medium and severe but now it's called cognitive or intellectual delay. So personality disorder is just one diagnosis, but they can have a whole lot of other diagnoses to go with it. So the question to that answer, right as I was getting ready to record, is yes, they can have autism, or even on the autism spectrum. I did want to come on tonight, and I wanted to talk about the old versus new supply and triangulation. Now the narcissists will triangulate with anybody, but I just wanted to focus on the new versus the old source of supply triangulation. And I had a young lady to email me and ask me a question. She asked to remain anonymous. And one of the things, and after I do this video, I really would like for you guys to encourage her. She's not going to reveal who she is, but encourage her, give her some comments, give her some encouragement, because you guys are really awesome when it comes to encouragement, when you guys give words of wisdom. I really appreciate that, and it really helps. A lot of people on here have said that the community of those of you that are on this YouTube channel have really helped them through their process when their process was really hard. They read your comments and they love the encouragement and the words of encouragement. You guys are really an awesome group of people, and I'm so honored that you guys would join me on my YouTube channel, because I really feel the love, and I hope you feel the love in return. And so one of the situations that was brought up, and this will also tie into the old versus new narcissist not narcissist, but old versus new supply and the triangulation. And so what she was telling me was, and once again, she wants to be anonymous, but what she was saying was that she was with the narcissist. Now, this is a very typical story, and most of us, we know this story, was with the narcissist, never had a clue that the narcissist had other supply. It just so happened that She found out later on, I think when she discarded, I think that's what she told me, when she discarded, that he had a new source of supply directly across the street in a house over there. She was unaware of it. She was outside, and he rode up and pushed the button, and the house, the garage came open on the other side, and she has been living in a lot of embarrassment and a lot of shame. And what I told her is, first of all, you have nothing to be ashamed of. First of all, he's had other supplies. We know that. He had other supplies. But the thing is that you discarded him. So when you discarded him, you caused a serious narcissist injury, because no narcissist, you don't break up with a narcissist. The narcissists break up with you. Everything goes in their timeline, when they want to do it, how they want to do it, and how they plan to do it. So for you to cause a narc injury, to cause them to be off-kiltered, you cause a severe narcissistic injury, which they wouldn't be able to recover from unless they already had another supply. Narcissists are very paranoid people. They know what they do to people, and they're always paranoid that people are doing the exact same thing. They judge people, or they project on people and assume that people think and act the same way they do. So they're always on defense, they're always on guard, and they're always living with their mindset that you're going to discard, or a source of supply is going to discard. So that's why they do very dramatic things to try to hold on to that source of supply. And I'm going to get into it when we talk about the triangulation. But there's no reason to be embarrassed, because not everybody believes a narcissist story. Now, they work very hard to smear campaign you to make, and he probably did. He probably smear campaigns you, and of course, he made you look bad in front of the new supply. But the thing about it is that most people will know, like, something's not right with this guy. You know, why would he move in directly? And don't you give up your house? That's your house. You built that house. You don't have to get up and move because he went across the street. They have, you know, people usually have and I heard Quinn Holiday say this, they have a expiration date. You have an expiration date in life in general, where one day you will pass on into whatever belief you are, you know, you're going to die. And people with a narcissist have a shelf life. And they do what is called, and other YouTubers have used this term, and people that talk about narcissism, they will shelf you. Shelving means is that they put you aside for a minute while they're doing what they need to do, and then when they need to come back to you, they take you back off the shelf. So everybody is categorized in different and compartmentalized in different shelves. But the thing about it is that you cause a narcissistic injury, and so he's going to try to pay you back. He knows that you're embarrassed. He knows that you are hurt, and he's going to do everything that he can to make sure you see him every time. The best thing that you can do is act as normal as possible. If you got to cry, if you got to call someone, you go in the house and do that. But when you're out in public, don't you let him see anything. You see no weakness, no emotions, and eventually it's going to get better with time. I can tell you this one thing is that when you decide to start dating again, and say you have a gentleman, you know, come pick you up or anything, I promise you this, he'll be looking out the window. But see, it's almost like a double-edged sword here, because he's across the street, he can watch everything that you do. So he can spy on you and watch everything you do. And at the same time, he's Mr. Dramatic, so he's going to make sure that you see him and how happy they are. And that's what leads me into this. You have no reason to be embarrassed. Really, he's an embarrassment to his own self. And if people, you know, when the unbiased people, not the flying monkeys, like you said, you had to get rid of the flying monkeys, not the flying monkeys, but people that are pretty reasonable and can step back and look at the situation, will shake their head. You know, back in the day, and I don't know if they still use the terminology, a woman is a gold digger, you have to think the narcissistic male is also a gold digger, a leech, and so are the females. But, you know, they're also the gold diggers and the leeches. They always look for someone that, because I guarantee you, he can't buy a house like that. He probably is unable to buy. I'm not saying all of them, but I bet you he can't do that. So he's got to make sure that you think that he's got something even better than you. But the thing about it is that you're always on his mind, because you discarded him, so he's always trying to figure out a way to get you back. And that's what leads me into this conversation about triangulation. Whether you discard or they discard, remember, they're always looking for sources of supply, one way or another. And the thing about it is everything works on their time. Everything works according to how they want to do things. They want to groom their supply. They want to make their move the way that they want to. And so when they have other sources of supply that they're working on, you may be the primary source of supply. So you are the main source of supply that they get their energy surge out of. It's like they get their diabetic shot from you, but they have to have other shots elsewhere. And if that makes sense to you, when their blood sugar runs low, they have to make sure that they, that's just a term, they have to go find other sources of supply to bring that back up. Well, that's how it bring their self-esteem up, bring their self-worth up, make them feel relevant. They have to find other sources of supply. The thing about a narcissist is that they want to do the discarding. They don't want you to do the discarding because it throws them off. They tell you when they're going to break up. They know when they're going to leave, but they know when that new source of supply is groomed and prepped very well. And so they're playing a game with this new source of supply because they need to lock this source of supply in. And if you throw them off by discarding them before they have the other supply locked in, where they're confident that this new source of supply is crazy over them, do anything for them, because remember, this new source of supply has to prove their worth in the narcissist mind, has to prove your worth for me, allowing me to be your God. You have to worship me enough, and you have to, throw yourself at my feet and make me feel relevant and buy me things, or give me the impression well, not the impression, but I need all this from you. I need this fuel, and you have to prove yourself. So I'll go back to my primary source, take her off the shelf for a minute, put her back on the shelf, go back out there, and then groom you and love bomb you some more. Then I'm going to pull back, I'm going to go back to whatever other source of supply, then I'm going to come back to you to see how you are. This right here is causing the trauma bonds prior to even getting into the relationship. But they'll love bomb you, they'll buy you things. They have to make sure with this new source of supply, they have to make sure that this new source of supply is in place, intact, before they get rid of their primary source of supply. When they discard, they're confident that they have locked this new source of supply in. When you discard, you have caused them to be off-kiltered because it wasn't the time that they wanted to step into this new relationship yet, and so now they have to rush everything. For those of you that have been in relationships of 15, 20, 35 years, you have to remember they're leaving one relationship at the level at which you guys were in a relationship, and going in with that velocity, that type of abuse, that type of mindset, they're leaving from that relationship, and they're going at the height at which they left your relationship into this new relationship. The thing about it is, though, is that remember, they mirror the other person. So they become a person that you don't even recognize because they need to blend in with this other person and metamorphosize or morph into this new person. So they're, certain characteristics are going to change and everything, but you have to remember they're still at this level trauma or drama or aggressiveness that they left from you. They have to downplay it in order to secure this new source of supply. But there's a matter of time that they begin to devalue them because they settle back in because they're very secure at the fact that you're not going to go anywhere. The new source of supply is not going to go anywhere. And so eventually that mask begins to fall off, but they're going into it at a level 10 that they left you. And so eventually, with this new source supply, they're at a level 10 when they're dealing with. Some of them won't even last as long as the relationship lasted with some of you guys. Now, the other thing is that if you discard it or however it worked, remember they're black and white thinkers. So good, bad, good, bad. There's no in between. And so when they're with this new source supply, they've got to smear you. They've got to make you look like the bad person. Oh, she keeps calling me, or he's hounding me, he's stalking me, or he's doing. They don't tell the whole story. And in actuality, they're watching you, and it's like they need oxygen because they're trying to make sure that they get this source supply locked in. So you've got to be this bad guy, this bad girl, and think about it. As much as they talk about you, what they're doing with this new source of supply is creating this image of you in their head. They're securing a flying monkey on top of that, and they're securing support and woe is me, and they're always the victim. They're never wrong. They're not accountable for anything. They never tell you all the role that they played in that last relationship to secure that new source supply, so that new source supply is locked in and is on their side. They triangulated, if you think about it, because now that new source supply will fight you and will fight on that person's behalf, on that narc's behalf. But now think about it. They're always going to come back, especially if you go no contact and you're ignoring the narc and you don't want to have anything to do with it. Your name comes up in that house more than you think it does. And the bad part about it is, they're dumb and smart at the same time. Well, I'm not going to say smart. They're manipulative and dumb at the same time. They're talking about you because they're also attacking the other person's self-esteem. Well, And I'll give you an example. Well, just because she's a nuclear physicist, she's not all that, because, I want family, and she didn't know how to have family, or he didn't know, just because he's an astronaut doesn't mean anything, or just because he's an A-list Hollywood star doesn't mean anything, to me, you're the one that I want. And, but think about what they're doing. Remember I told you guys about the words and how conniving they are with words and how they do things. And so the new supply is like, yeah, you're right, and he chose me over everyone. She chose me over everyone, and I must be someone, and you're really not what you think. But at the same time, you're creating this insecurity, because they're going to go to insecure people. By the time they discard you, or you have discarded them, you have begun to realize, okay, something's not right, and you begin to gain strength. Believe it or not, you begin to gain strength, and they know that you're beginning so the games are not working like they used to, whether it's separating your bank accounts, whether, so now with this new supply, they talk about you all the time. They talk about you. It's almost like they talk about you, and it's almost like they're obsessed. They talk about you and all the negative things, and just because he's an astronaut, and I'm just using that as an example, astronaut, or just because he's a movie star, she's a movie star, I just wanted someone normal. But think about what they're doing. They're putting all this doubt into the other person's mind, and so now the new source of supply has got this image in their head of who you are not. They have created a superstar in their head. You have become a star in their house. You have become a topic in their house. The narcissist, what happened is imparted those thoughts and all the things that they've said, and then the new supply is like, they're a horrible individual, but he is kind of handsome, but she is real pretty, and yeah, she might be pretty, but she's got a nasty attitude. Or he might be handsome, but now they're comparing themselves. Like, well, why would you want me if that was the longest source of supply that you had? And why would you choose? But see, they're creating doubt in your mind. They're creating doubt with a new supply. They're creating doubt. Trust you me, the new supply is thinking about you as much as you're thinking about them when you're in the discard phase. So the new supply, even though they make sure that they'll use like a flying monkey by proxy, they'll use the new supply to hurt your feeling, and they'll do it willingly to make sure that they hurt you, to let you know, this is my man now, or this is my woman now. And in your mind, you think like, you have no idea what kind of monster you have in your house. You have no clue. So some of you need to all of you just need to be thankful that narc is out of your life. Now that narc is no longer your problem. That narc is that new supply. But this is how they triangulate. Because they want them to fight. Really, the feel that they will get out of it is if you say something to the new supply, because they'll do anything. And let me back up a little bit too at how they secure. They're so paranoid that they're going to get left, they have failed relationships. And so every relationship they get into, they already are paranoid that you're going to leave. They already got a problem with abandonment and rejection issues. And so, but they don't place the responsibility on themselves that is you that makes people want to leave. And so they're already paranoid that the new source of supply is going to leave. They always assume people are going to leave. And what they'll do is, to lock down the new source of supply, they'll do things like major purchases, expensive homes, expensive cars, lock themselves into your bank account. It's almost like they intertwine like an octopus. They just intertwine and put all these tentacles around you so that it's hard for you to leave. Or, a man trying to convince a woman to have a lot of children, or the woman narcissist just starts having a bunch of kids, but it's to lock you in there, so it makes it harder for you to go. It makes it harder for you to get out of this entanglement, because how hard is it to leave, and you have properties and you have businesses together, and they even if you're the one that had all this, they'll take the credit for what you've done. We bought this home, and it's actually you that bought the home, the non-narc, female or male. I bought all these cars for you because I wanted you, to feel loved and appreciated. This is what I did for you. And if you actually go back and look, it was you that was paying for the car. I bought this home for you. Yeah, but it was you that paid for the home, not the narcissist. I did all this and took you on trips. Yeah, but it came out of your pocket. And so they're quick to make you think that I did all this because I wanted you and I wanted to show you I love you. Yeah, but with my money. think about it for a minute. Yeah, with my resources, do something that, in the very beginning, when they love bomb you and woo you, a lot of times the stuff that they're doing, they're putting themselves in debt, but their mind, their focus is what you have. So I'll put myself in debt, and then I'll make you obligated. I'll make you feel obligated that you owe me back because I did all this when I had it, and now that I don't have, you owe me. And they never had it. They were in debt. They were, and then you end up paying their bills. Okay, we're gonna get ourselves out of debt, But the triangulation part is, they're in the home, and you become the superstar. You become what's on the new narcissist mind. I mean, the new supplies mind. They'll go look at your Facebook page. They're trying to figure you out. They're trying to see, what do you like? And especially if you don't say anything, they're going to see, what do you like? What do you sound like? How do you act? Does anybody know you? Or let me study you, or let me look at your pictures. Let me see, what is it about you that kept him there so long? Because the narcissist is going to put you in competition with each other. And so the one thing that they hope, they're going to say all these negative things about you to the new supply. And then, of course, you're the bad guy. But in actuality, the dumb thing about it is they're making you look good in front of the new supply. So you have become a superstar in the home, and you don't even know the new supply. Your best bet, don't say anything. You don't have to argue back. It's a waste of your time. Why waste your breath and your energy arguing with a new supply that has no idea what she has lurking in her home? So hopefully this has helped you tonight, and hopefully that answered the question to one of my viewers. Two of my viewers, I think one of them asked about the autism. 3 viewers. One viewer asked about the autism. Another viewer asked about schizophrenia. Go look at the video that I did on mental health and addictions. I did talk about mental health with the narcissist. So yes, they can be schizophrenic. They also can be autistic. They can be borderline, bipolar, major depression. They have post-traumatic stress. They can be developmentally delayed and intellectually delayed. So narcissists are people that have personality disorders but have other things that are going on with them. So yes, there's a large array of diagnoses that they can have, a plethora of diagnosis they can have along with narcissistic personality disorder. So hopefully this has helped you tonight. Please let me know if this answered your question, and please, you guys, as followers, subscribers on here, just give some words of encouragement to the young lady. She's living in shame. She's totally embarrassed. The narcissist lives directly in front of her, and make sure that she sees him and that he makes her suffer. I have another subscriber on here. Her narcissist lives right next door. So imagine the pressure that you're under, but it's a good, you could take it as a good test to see where you are. Every time you see them, you can gauge your emotions to see where you are. But if you built that home and you have a beautiful home and you love your home, don't you let that narcissist run you out. Unless it becomes dangerous, they're stalking, they're breaking into your home, they're doing something that's dangerous, don't you let that narcissist let you give up what you love and the home that you built and the home that you love. 9 times out of 10, that relationship that is across the street or next door, sometimes relationships don't last very long, because once that mask falls off, just like you discarded, just a matter of time that they're figured out. Remember, they're always paranoid that they're going to get figured out. So hopefully this has helped you guys tonight. Please subscribe to my channel. It is Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. My name is DR, and that's CarmenBryant. There's a Brian, and then there's I think another Bryant, but I am Dr. Carmen Bryant, and it's Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. When you subscribe, please hit the bell so that you can hear whenever I upload a new video, let you know whenever I go live. And then if you're on the Facebook, I was having some problems on Sunday. Thank you guys for all coming in and then switching over to YouTube. I don't know, it may be time for me to upgrade my iPad. That's probably what the real problem is. I think I have too much stuff on my iPad where it just kept knocking me off Facebook, because I had Facebook on my iPad. So I think it just kept cutting me off because I just have too much on there, and I was probably time to upgrade. That's what I need to do. So I apologize. I'll go and try to clean it up some and see if I can do it on Sunday again. But if not, come on over to YouTube. On YouTube, majority of a lot of people are on YouTube, and so come and join me over on YouTube. I am on Facebook. My professional Facebook page is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. Hit the like button and follow me there. For those of you that want to come on my personal Facebook page, I usually don't let people come in my personal Facebook page unless I know you. But just come to my professional Facebook page. Maybe eventually I'll change it to a public, so public figures, so that it's kind of open, you guys can come on there. But for now, go to my professional Facebook page, which is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. Thank you guys so much for the support. You guys make this happen. You guys have some awesome questions. You guys have awesome stories. You guys have told me some awesome stories. And when I say awesome, I don't mean awesome meaning that this is wonderful. I mean awesome meaning that you would trust me enough to give me your stories and tell me what you've been through. As I always say, everybody that is on Facebook, and especially not Facebook, but everybody, well, Facebook too, but everybody that is on YouTube is not a survivor. Some of these people that are on YouTube, they're watching, haven't said anything, and there are some comments that flow back and forth that are very negative. Those are narcissists. Just beware, because they are there. So everybody is not a survivor. A lot of the people, I'm not gonna say a lot, there are narcissists on there. So be careful what you post, be careful what you write. If you want to tell me a personal story that you know is very detailed, email me. Dr. Carmen Bryant, DrCarmenBryant @outlook.com. Let me know if you would like me, when you do the video, if you tell me the story, let me know if you would like to stay anonymous. If not, I usually say, hey, so-and-so shared this story with me, so this is for you. But if you stay anonymous, then I'll just talk about the topic in general. So hopefully this video has helped the individuals that have asked me questions and emailed me to ask me questions. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you guys for all that you do when you come in and talk to me. I love talking to you guys, and I'm sorry I can't get back to all the emails so quickly or some of the comments so quickly. I do my best, but I am busy, and so it gets harder and harder for me to respond because there's so many people asking questions, and that just lets me kind of know how to develop the questions, not the questions, but the topics. Also gives me an idea, and I think Ms. Kim West, you asked me, have I started doing the coaching? I have not started doing the online coaching. My office is open for coaching. People have been coming here to my office for coaching, but that's only if you're in the state of Washington, in the Seattle area. Other than that, and I do provide mental health services. So some people that come in, we have to determine whether you're doing coaching or mental health services. Some people that require medication management, everything, that's normally counseling. If we're doing coaching, we're just focused on goals. Where are you trying to go from here? Where are you trying to go? Let me see the problem. What are you trying to do? Let's get you some resources. Let's do this. And I am creating the program so I can present you guys with the packages. It is a little complex because I'm so busy during the day. I have to do it in increments, but I want to be able to present you guys with the best training, the best videos, the best PowerPoints, the best e-manuals and books that I can possibly provide to help you guys through this process. So eventually I'll be watching you on YouTube as well. You guys let me know when you guys do YouTubes. I'll come and support you. I'll come and watch, and see what you guys are talking about. If you hope you don't mind me critiquing you, I'll email you too, because I want you to be careful. I really do. Those of you that are here on my YouTube that interact with me a lot, I just want you to be careful because I don't want you to end up in the same situation again, but this time worse because you didn't have your guards up. So once again, thank you guys so much. I have to get out of the office. And as my friend always says, go and be great. And I mean that.